ET mode. I'm
Where's
quite
the
confused.
bicycle? Where's the bicycle with the basket?
Yeah, right. I'm quite confused. However, we shall see now the pistol round commence between these two sides. Of course, if you missed map 1, ENVYUS handily dispatched FNATIC on Mirage. Mirage definitely wasn't a good look for FNATIC. Can they turn things around? We've got a Molotov and a flashbang on Flusher, which makes me think that's, well, I mean, hey, looks like they're going for the alley push, so we have to hold that fort for now, and there's a couple quick frags from FNATIC, so this is looking good no matter what.
So far, so good. Yeah, you can see the smoke's gone down to try and help the CTs defend. Headshots coming in from Apex and Happy. Man advantage for FNATIC, however. It's going to be increased with NBK being the last man standing now. They have no idea where he is at the moment, but he'll soon be announced with that P2000. He's going to get shot in the face as well. Down to 4 HP because those Glocks won't be a one-shot from that distance.
So this would be a huge sigh of relief here for all FNATIC, because this is, you know, the T side, you know, you win the T side pistol. You know, as long as they don't get, you know, loose to a force buy or something immediately, they get those first 3 rounds on the board. You know, you deny those easy ones from the CT side. You deny that quick economy. You deny the sniper rifles and the nades that they need to do proper defenses. And it gives the T side a good platform to use a very wider variety of strategies. So because you can get out into the yard very quickly if you want, because they won't have the weapons or the nades to necessarily stop you. You can do face, you can do more or less anything. And that freedom can be very hard to bring yourself back from on the CT side. And we know that, you know, you can definitely rack up a lot of rounds on the CT side. So this is perfect, considering FNATIC had a horrible start to this series by losing Mirage.
Okay, so we're just going to wait for Vigo to rejoin the game in the coach position.
He needs to be here, man. I mean, look, Kenny S is getting like massage on demand from Maniac. Where's Vigo at?
You're still going on about the massages?
It's important, man.
Although massages are pretty cheap in Minsk compared to London prices.
I think most things are cheap compared to London prices.
That is also true. That is also true. Yeah, it's insanely cheap. I think everyone's going to be on the massages once we get a bit more time in the coming days.
They don't have deep tissue massage in the hotel though, so I'm disappointed.
Well, we're back into the match. Envy going for the force buy. Apex will be on the scout. The rest of the team going to be on the pistols. The 5.7s, the CZs, the P250s. 3 players on armor. Kenny S is just buying light because he's looking for the big green gun. Or the big yellow gun with a dragon on, if you will. FNATIC are going to be in a bit of a mixed buy. 2 Mach 10 players. That moving accuracy is going to be stupendous. 3 of the 5 players for Envy don't have helmets. 5 don't have any armor, so those will be very valuable. We'll see if Envy can play the ranges, well, the range with that scout, really. The other players are going to want to be up close to get those one-shots with those pistols. So it may be a slow push here from FNATIC, as there are many corners to turn around.
Wow, MBK might just get a sneaky timing on this flank. Will Olaf Monster look in time, or will there be players approaching MBK's right? Now, here we go. FNATIC will face both at once. À droite et la gauche? Is that right? I don't know. I'm testing out my French, James. Not sure how it's going.
It's not le gauche.
Oh,
it's à gauche.
À gauche. My bad. I got the first one right.
You could just say à droite, à gauche.
Okay. All right. Well, looks like FNATIC are cleaning up house at the moment. They're moving forwards on both bomb sites. The bomb will be planted on the A site. Oh, that's a great shot there. Felt that one, but that's not going to help too much, it would seem. It'd be great if Apex could keep his scout alive. What do you think the odds are of that, James?
4-1.
4-1.
I don't know. I'm just saying random odds. Happy, will he be able to pick up a weapon? Perhaps. He's holding an angle towards the B bomb site. I'm wondering if he's even safe there with 6 HP. He probably is, actually. I know, thanks to 3 clicks, Philip, we learned that the bomb radius is circular, as a radius normally is. He's a bit close, though. I'm wondering now if he's going to die. Is he going to die? Yes, he is going to die. See, my estimations were very good. He was unable to survive, so Envy will get wiped out on their fourth buy, and one would expect an eco to come in, as not much was achieved in that round. Dad.
What's up? All right, that's the throw. Right, okay. So, 2-0 is the score. We will see FNATIC now up against just a couple
What is this
BT50s.
picture of JW? That's disgusting. I don't want to see that.
It's like, I've read the books, but I think that's Voldemort. I think I only watched one of the movies.
That's nasty. It's nasty.
Don't know why you would use that. picture. Anyway, this should be a pretty easy round for FNATIC. Bit of a nothing round. Typically these are just junk time, but when it's a team like ENVYUS, you never quite know what they can be capable of with pistols, especially in the A yard. There's so many different places to peek, so much cover to abuse, so many spots to turn the attention of the FNATIC players towards them to only be shot in the back. But it looks like they are able to slowly shut this one down. Looks a little bit sketchy to begin with, but 3-0 as expected now for FNATIC. So they've done the 3-0, they've built the bank. This is where it gets interesting, because now they can just throw all kinds of strategies at ENVYUS, and it's going to be very hard initially for ENVYUS to adapt and keep their economies secure.
Well, let's see if FNATIC can break the bye of Envy. This is momentum that they will sorely need for confidence, among other things. Again, if you are just joining us, there was a supremely effective game from Envy in the previous round, where they pretty much map, where they dominated from start to finish. So FNATIC are going to want to take control once again. You can see the coordination is in for FNATIC. Got that double nade coming in towards the end there in case somebody's holding an angle with an AWP. Going to try and pop out perhaps later on. But nobody home for now. Envy are playing fairly far back on B. Those close rotation times, happy close to connector. They've got NVK moving around the bomb train. There are some interesting sneaky angles if you can keep control of upper B.
Oh,
you can see the boost coming in there, just in case anybody's standing on a train. As you can see, JW is ready and waiting, and they've got time on the clock to do this. They know Happy likes to move around, and Happy is indeed in the vicinity.
Yeah, that's one of the things. There's like small nuances that, if you're not, let's say, used to the European region, or maybe it doesn't happen as much in your region, you get caught off by that, and that could just be almost like that could then turn into like 2 or 3 rounds for that team, like these small little advantages. But the push will come in onto the B-bomb side in the end from FNATIC, and let's see how good this one is going to be. ENVYUS were very patient. MBK is able to pick up one frag from the middle of the yard, so that's going to slow the approach. Happy goes straight through the smoke, straight around. He's not able to find very much though, but Apex is straight on in, and he almost gets the 3rd kill there as well. 4 HP and 10 left on the FNATIC side on the 2 remaining players. This is very, very difficult, but Flusher with a fast shot on the AWP is going to take down Kenny S, leaving things on the shoulders of Kiyoshima, the very capable Frenchman of the ENVYUS side. But what is he going to be able to pull off in this position? He's got only a single flash, and Flusher is lurking further forwards through the yard. Kiyoshima's going to pick up the AWP, and he's just going to get out of there, in fact. He doesn't realize, I guess, how low they are, and he's going to just do the safe play, the guaranteed AWP pickup at the very least, but ENVYUS will be on the eco otherwise.
What a precarious round for both teams. The bomb carrier got taken down, and the bomb bounced all the way to the middle of the side of the bomb train, which is a very vulnerable position to have to go and retrieve the bomb. Envy charging through the smoke with not 1 but 2 players. Oh, the AWP's been lost as well. That's brutal.
Whoopsie daisy.
Apex coming in almost with the 3-man there. That could have changed things if he got that last kill, however, it was not to be. Yeah. So 4-0, very good start for FNATIC. Yeah,
it's a really good start, and we'll see the force buy regardless. So that's quite interesting to see. Actually, well, I guess it should be a quasi buy actually, because they've got their $2,900 on the round loss there, and I guess they've spent in the region of 1,500. So they won't have the most amazing money in the next round, to be honest. That's kind of like you really want to be able to buy AWPs and a huge amount of grenades on this map. But ENVYUS in the next round are going to have to do it with a little less. But that's also because on these force buy or these quasi-buy situations, they know that their odds to keep the economy down of their opponents is good because they're so skilled individually. And sometimes they can just win the rounds from these positions as well. So you can't actually say that for a team this skilled, that going for the less economical play is as risky as it would be for a lesser team.
I like the shoulder peek that we saw earlier on from NBK. He knows there are players within his vicinity moving away so he doesn't get naded and then smoking it off to try and ruin the timing of FNATIC, who seem hell-bent on taking the B bomb site now. NBK could be in a lot of trouble. Look at JW's position. He just does not give a monkeys, does he? Gotta love the way he plays so audaciously. NBK comes in for the surprise, but too many targets. Not sure which one to aim at. Krim's going to be covering JW's angle. Lots of information for Envy, as you'll see all those dots on the radar, but now they are on the wrong end of the choke points. But one player in pretty close. Let's see if he can do anything. I think that's Happy. Of course it's Happy with this sneaky position. Is Krim's going to overextend?
Oh, wow. Happy going full Predator mode there, but he can't. He got eaten by the alien. And we'll have Apex able to kill Olafmeister just for a little quick extra pickup of the AK. And There's another reason why you can also justify this force buy, because on top of the odds for them to get damage with their skill, or the quasi buy rather, they can have a spot like this where it's very realistic. They can save a weapon, so they can pick up some extra value that you could argue they would have lost by going less economic and buying up the pistol armor. So FNATIC claiming yet another round. Here is number 5, and ENVYUS. What are they going to show for themselves this time around? Let's have a look at their money. Never mind.
Money will be back in
Money
about
will be back.
20 seconds or so.
We'll get there eventually, James. I don't think that they... I think... just let me see if I can do the math. I think the estimate would be like 4,500 that they should have had. And assuming, the AK picked up... Okay, they were able to actually... They had a bit more than that, actually. So I miscalculated. But you can see Happy has no armor, and there's no helmets on anybody. Which won't actually matter, I guess, the AKs, but still. Cutting corners is something you have to do as one of the best teams in the world.
Okay, so...
Well,
my screen's died. Back to you, Dan.
well, MVK is about to get challenged here. They might just line up, and looks like we'll go straight to Apex here on the A side of the map, where we will find the kill onto Flusher. But unfortunately for ENVYUS, this is probably a safe situation. They don't have anyone in position. They don't want to be funneling through the choke points. They've given up too much time for FNATIC to move forward in the yard. And look how easy the engagements can be here. Crim's getting a very forward kill. In fact, ENVYUS are still trying to go for this instead of going for the full save. And in doing so, they are going to lose a few players. It is kind of okay due to the fact that if they do survive with at least 2, and again, that situation is they already have the max loss bonus of $3,400. If they survive with at least 2 players, the first 2 engagements don't go so well, then they can fall back, and those 2 players can drop weapons, and they can still have a buy. Ooh, oh dear, this is very awkward. They need to survive with 2 players, it's very important. And looks like they'll be able to do so. So
both the AWPs surviving as well is humongous, based on the nature of Train, of course, of those long channels. That is fantastic news for Envy. But what's not fantastic news is a big fat 0 on the scoreboard for them.
Yeah.
Is this going to be the round? They've mustered a buy with more M4s, lots of nades actually, which is great. Just the one defuse kit onto Mr. Kenny S, Mr. Shrub.
I'm a fan of shrubs, like a good shrubbery.
That's great to know, Dan.
Yeah. 3
players moving towards Ivy for the T side, including the bomb, which we saw in the pistol round as well. So I can't remember where the rest of the team were, but it's possibly reminiscent, just with bigger guns.
Now, will they go for the bait play here so all of us can get a pick? Or are they just going to go for this? Kishima's on the other side, and it's not got Norp or anything like that. And 3 players looking to creep from FNATIC. This could be a pretty big push, actually. And there's no one really providing proper attention to that channel. The closest guy is Kiyoshima's just got a flash and an M4, though.
Yeah, seems they're trying to make a read on what FNATIC might be doing, but I don't think they're correct. Kishima's going to be flashed out of position, but there's a crossfire coming in for the CTs. 2 frags for either side now, 1 AWP left on both teams. And we've got Apex still on the A site somewhere, but can he make any difference? Indeed he can. Crim's going down, he's positioned around the E-box as well. JW almost kills his teammate. Flash is running distraction, and Apex not going to be able to finish off JW there. So a bit of confusion in the FNATIC camp. The bomb's down as well, and I think Envy will get their first round on the board here. Yeah, from a coordination standpoint there, JW kind of misread his teammates, and he was too slow out, because he could have gotten the kill on Apex, but then instead what happens is Apex kills 2 players. So that slight lack of coordination there, basically, JW, unknowingly, unwittingly threw his team under the bus, let's say. But, that happens. It's very hard to be aware of. That's actually one of the most difficult things on this map, is being aware of every single one of your players on the yard, because there's so much happening and there's so many different angles. There really is. So, you can't really, that was the outcome. You can't really blame JW for it, but it definitely worked out. And Apex capitalized, and he's been so incredibly on point for his team in these on the first map as well. So this could be now ENVYUS with something to work with. And here you go, we'll see Apex making his kills. You can see how exposed he was there. And that was JW throwing the smoke, going slow on the peaks, and a second kill comes out from Apex. Big stuff there from him. Double AWPs continuing for Envy as they make their way onto the scoreboard, but the pressure will be kept up by FNATIC on the absolute full buy for the entire team. There's some aggression from Envy towards the Ivy area as well. And we're seeing Flusher approach that position. Kishima's doing a lot of jumping, which surely Flusher will hear. Going for the pre-fire there, but Kishima was low rather than high. Kenny S is going to take a lot of damage from that nade, but he won't be too concerned with the AWP. Bomb left in a passive position towards A main, so that may give a clue as to what the intentions of FNATIC may be, although I think someone's going to have to go back and retrieve it. It seems that might be Flusher, who's moving away very quietly from the Ivy area now, hoping that his silent exit will keep those two players busy. Although Kenny S is in a position where he can try and bring an offense towards main as well, but moving back to a more passive position now. That may have changed.
Yeah, we got the bomb making its way from T main now, and JW is able to find a pick onto Apex. That actually can change the game plan now.
Look at the rotation from the CTs. They're pretty much abandoning the B bomb site. There is a well-placed Molotov, though, to stop any potential push. So that's a good decision from Envy, but now they might be in trouble as they're on the wrong end of the B bomb site with this push coming in.
Yeah, this is going to be hard to make these shots, but Happy and MBK both get the taps they need. Now this is really big. Can Happy get something else right now? He can get a great nade in there. We'll do a bit, quite a significant amount of damage. Crims is stuck behind the bomb train. He's got players on all sides. There's Happy in with the P250 headshot as JW is now the last man standing. He's way out of position. There's no way he can get there in time to stop this. And that will be the round there for ENVYUS once again. And that was all about MBK and Happy just hitting those first two initial shots on the main push from FNATIC because they decided to play really defensively, really far back, which means your shots are harder. It's harder to stop the bomb from going down. But they still managed to do enough damage in that sense.
Got to give credit to that Molotov, though, because that ruined the timing of FNATIC. They couldn't push because that Molotov went down as the two CT players were moving back from the B bomb site in case they needed to rotate towards A. So very, very good decision-making.
Yeah, now the double AWP continues for ENVYUS. And so far, so good. They've been playing very passively, actually. A lot of teams have, played quite forward. That was kind of the meta for quite some time. Oh, that's savage! Straight through the smoke. MBK finds it's just this kill on the spray. That's really gutting there.
You could say parfait. That 7 golden letters. Apex coming in with another 2 frags. He is going nuclear for his team at the moment. 4-round deficit though for the CT, so they need to keep this momentum up. And FNATIC are suddenly running out of money. I say that NJW's got 12k, but I think overall the team, this would be if they lose this, their second full buy or third full buy in a row, which they've lost, so money doesn't grow on trees.
And the last couple of rounds as well, ENVYUS have been really hitting their shots. I mean, if you look at this round, we saw, well, okay, MBK getting some luck with the RNG there, spraying through the smoke, landing a headshot. That's not going to happen every day. And then you've got Apex winning a 1 versus 2 on the pop dog position. So the individual skill, MBK with another smoke frag. So individual skill.
It does happen every day.
Yeah, apparently so. Every round, apparently, well, twice in one round is pretty sick. But yeah, ENVYUS are feeling themselves once again.
So now we can see the FNATIC money starting to finally bleed down towards the big fat 0. The black is moving to red, so they might be in trouble if they don't win this round. Obviously, their loss bonus is going up at the same time, but so is the money of Envy. A perfect round for them. It's going to be great for their economy going forward. Might see a timing nade a la Team Liquid. Not going to do the damage there, but it was pretty close. We know how finicky these grenades can be in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's quite cool to see ENVYUS, staying with this very passive approach. Again, it's the older meta game was to play, 1 or 2 players much closer to Pop Dog and to main. But now, what ENVYUS are doing, they're really respecting FNATIC's ability to actually outpick them from the main position, and then they'll actually allow them into the yard a little bit easier. But FNATIC, unlike what they initially did, as you described previously, Olaf running into main, which actually would be very available with this setup that ENVYUS are doing. Olaf could just run out if he wanted, but they are respecting ENVYUS. So ENVYUS are actually a little bit of a step ahead here, and we're not seeing a fast adaptation, but there is a rush that's being set up here, it would seem.
Again, look at the timing with the grenades from the team, and their legs might actually be exposed, but Apex doesn't have the correct angle to punish that. I'm pretty sure their legs would be exposed in that smoke, but here we go. They're going to go for the push anyway. Apex hiding behind electric box again, getting themselves some 1 versus 1, but there are too many FNATIC players now. They're charging onto the site. We've got Kineas and Upper moving out of that position. Happy will be behind the smoke. Another smoke frag for Envy. Everything going their way at the moment. Kishima taking down Dennis. Flusher and JW. Just Flusher now versus 3. Gets himself a 1 versus 1, but NBK is popping heads for fun.
Yeah, I mean, that's crazy, because Apex is finally Apex. You know, he doesn't get anything really from that position, and he had an opportunity to get probably 2 kills. That looked quite possible there. But his teammates, he's still running into this avalanche. It would feel as though against these French players at the moment, they're all hitting their shots. It's so hard to deal with that.
Now we see FNATIC, because of their loss bonus going up, will be able to get another buyout, but Flusher is going to be reduced to a Tech 9. So Envy with great momentum. You can see NBK almost on $10,000. They'll be good for a while. They've weathered the storm. It is snowing quite a lot here in Minsk, so Avalanche is very apt.
Yeah, I haven't seen so much snow since I was last in Colorado and Aspen. We don't really get snow in the UK. Doesn't really tend to happen. Not to this extent anyway. But either way, I'm enjoying it. I'm spending most of my time inside, James. But here we go. Looks like FNATIC are spending quite a bit of time inside here as well. They're moving down with Crimson Olofmeister down into the inner area and looking for the opening pick. But again, you know, Envy is playing very passively. They are allowing FNATIC to move into bomb sites.
And again, Envy are doing a good job of just ruining the timing of FNATIC with Molotovs and smoke grenades. And there we've got another one. They didn't respond. You saw FNATIC were trying to bait a response there with nades towards the B bomb site. Envy held steadfast and then dropped that smoke in. Let's see what else they have in the toolbox. Just the 1 smoke remaining for Envy, lots of flashbangs, but I think they will be relying on the guns instead. NBK with an AK is not a good situation for FNATIC, who starts to move in towards the bomb site now. There's a first frag for NBK, got himself another 1 versus 1. The headshot's starting to come in now. The Frenchman's got himself 3 frags, finds Olofmeister upstairs, but Kenny's going to steal the frag from him.
Boom, boom, boom. Ole, ole.
He's really relying on his teammates to cover up higher, which is where he's very exposed. But, you know, he's able to get so many one-on-ones there. What a sick play. What a sick position there from MBK. And, oh, going for the shot there. Missing it is JW. My goodness, the pressure. Not quite getting to JW in time, but, you know, usually what, you know, a lot of people like to do is kind of like a safer situation that's committed. They're still very committed. Like, MBK is really committed there. If he messes up, he just dies immediately. There's nowhere to fall back here. But look at how well he handles this. And to the point to the left of this reticle, where the little plank is, that's usually where people will go, because they're kind of more safe from upper. But MBK in this position is relying on his teammates' cover, and it's perfect. What a perfect setup.
Yeah, the team play is very, very good. Envy playing hand in hand at the moment. Are we going to see a faster round from FNATIC? Again, they've got 3 players over towards Ivy, and they're moving in pretty fast. Only Kishima's here. JW taken down elsewhere. Down goes Kishima. Kenya's putting in work, though. Apex coming in with another 2 frags. Apex and NBK are savaging FNATIC at the moment. Kenya's hitting his shots as well, covering his teammates where required. Envy looking very solid at present.
It's so nice to witness. It's like, you know, watching a painting come together when you see ENVYUS. You know, sometimes, you know, you see stuff happening, you can't quite see. They've got Bob Ross there, you can see some stuff happening. Not quite sure what's going on, but by the end of it, you've got a beautiful portrait, James. It all comes together, and that's what we're seeing from ENVYUS at the moment. All these players, all these elements coming together in a very beautiful, beautiful way. And FNATIC now just on the pistols, the Kevlar. So the hopes for them are not high in this round, especially considering how well ENVYUS are playing. And look at that creep there from Olofmeister, just creeping on up. MBK's going to get it, though. Nice little spray down. And that is the end of Olofmeister.
Yeah, FNATIC don't have much to offer. They've come to the party with no booze, Dan. And they're about to get...
I hate those people.
They're about to get kicked out the door.
Freeloaders, man.
By Envy. Slow approach from FNATIC. Envy just going to be holding with the guns, although they don't really have position on A. We might even see a plant here from FNATIC. Happy with an AWP now, trying to put a stop to that. Dennis goes down. There are a few people for happy to find in this area. Deagle coming in as well as Kenny holds an angle. He knows where one player is. Bringing out a grenade at the wrong time. JW gonna steal that and his gun as well. But not much to be done here for Envy. They've got so much money they won't even care to retrieve the AWP, as there are only 2 rounds left in the first half. So after a rough start, look at that, 6 rounds in a row and then 7 rounds in a row for Envy.
Yeah, absolutely. It's quite amazing, you know, once they get those those full buys, what they're actually capable of doing. Now 7-6, as mentioned, it's still a good scoreline for FNATIC. You know, even if they only finish on 6 rounds, that's still a good scoreline for their T side. But you know, let's see if they can get something else done here. Oh, look at that! Just very bold play from Olofmeister. But MBK has been incredibly solid on this bomb site. He's been this entire series has been so solid. And they keep trying to challenge him. They're trying to break him, but he appears unbreakable so far.
He's had that AK for so long, and he's using it to pop heads for fun. Another smoke kill for NBK. He's still got 7 bullets in the magazine as well, but Crims is going to get some revenge now. Apex coming in, and that's not good news either for FNATIC. 2 versus 3, bomb goes down. Now things are evened up. There's a few smokes for FNATIC to dance around. So many flashbangs, volleys coming in. The nades just continuing for Envy. Flusher making a great play. He's going to stand in the smoke for the time being, but the spray's going to come in. There is no safe place for FNATIC on this map. Envy take another round.
They do indeed. And again, you know, despite the strength of ENVYUS, there's 7 rounds for FNATIC now, because you know, it might be easy to forget in light of what we've recently just seen from ENVYUS, how the strength and the dominance there. It's easy to forget that FNATIC already just crushed most of the first half. So it's going to be a difficult fight for ENVYUS on the second half, no matter what happens from this position, as we will get, sorry, the 8-6 rather, sorry. Now, Crims is on the AWP, which is an interesting one. When you've got JW, Dennis, and Olofmeister on the team, so usually that would indicate that it's going to be based on the timing. And speaking of timings, Apex is running in. He's got the Nikes on, and that's Crims now dead. So goodbye AWP. For now, at least. Look at the defensive setup now from ENVYUS. They're falling all the way back after that initial push. This is smart stuff from them. Playing it safe on the 1 now 2-man advantage. Happy
with a nice angle on to main, and all the frags coming the way of the French side. They got baguettes for days. No call to be seen in the last round. 3-round lead for Envy. So who do you favour at present?
I would say ENVYUS, just generally because of their execution, and I feel like they can rely on some simple stuff. I would like to see a lot of yard plays from them, because that's where if you can really exert an execution advantage. If you play it slower, you're looking more to do with the setups. You're not trying to rely on the chaos. You're trying to engineer the rounds, and and trying to set up various circumstances for your team to win against the more rushy based gameplay, which is about creating chaos. And if you've got chaos, the team with better individual skill and awareness will win. So I feel like that could benefit ENVYUS, but of course they've got a lot in the bag to work with.
Yeah, FNATIC definitely not out of this, but you can see the stress of the situation on the Swedish side, and Envy are looking extremely hard to beat at present. And I think it might have to do with the fact that they all have normal hair now.
Yeah, and there's Apex at the end. He's having a hell of a game, hell of a series, and it's cool to see Apex playing well, because he's one of the most inconsistent of the team, I would say. But of course, his skill ceiling is absolutely ridiculous. But so far, he's been annihilating his opposition, FNATIC.
And he's had a lot of rounds where he's had multiple frags in a very short space of time, and that really can crush a push, especially on a map such as Train, that just creates so many holes. And with so much action being fast-paced, it's going to be very hard to adjust to that for the pushing team when Apex is just coming and just ripping your legs off, basically.
And for a player like Apex as well, where he's very aggressive, for him to be able to connect all those shots like that, it's going to make him want to take more liberty. And that's really dangerous as well, especially if FNATIC are not really on top of their individual skill at the moment. Then Apex is just going to be in there. He's going to have no respect, and he can just completely shut down rounds. And then you've got this situation where it's morally a moral disadvantage for the team. Your morale goes down, and it's so frustrating, because it's hard. Like, this guy's going nuts, and how do you stop him? He's just doing whatever he wants. Yeah,
but let's not forget about NBK and Kenny S. NBK's playing up. He's playing deep into B, essentially, on his own, and his decision-making, the timing of his sprays through the smokes and so on have been perfect. You have to give him a lot of credit for that. But also, Kenny S has been in the right place at the right time in multiple rounds where he's been holding angles for his team. Again, you mentioned NBK in a more open angle on the B bomb side, because Kenny S is holding his upper. So it allows him to play an angle which is not going to be expected by his opponents, which gives him a bit of an advantage there. So everyone showing up the Kishima's over towards the A side as well. Everyone showing up for the Envy side and just working together in a great way. It's really good to see from the team.
Yeah, I was loving those CT setups. Now we go into the pistol round on the second half. And FNATIC would really, really want to win this one. Of course, they were able to win the first pistol. Can they win the second one? We've got Envy's Apex just straight out of the yard there. Straight out on yard. Now, will this be a bit of a tell for FNATIC that there's a lot of action towards Ali? Oh, nice pop there from Dennis. He's going to spot the next player as well. The call will go to his teammates. And this might get a little bit interesting now. Apex has got to do something. He's moving forward. He's got to take initiative, and that's what he does. But Trey's coming in now, and the chaos begins.
Indeed, you saw FNATIC. They saw the bomb on Ivy, which they put 3 people over towards that position. Is it going to pay off for them? They've got a 2-man advantage at the moment, and the bomb is nowhere close to being planted at present. Kenyeso with 2 fast frags spinning this round all over the place. Is it going to be a rotation? Kishima doesn't hear Crims shooting him in the side of the head, and now it's Kenyes versus Crims. 1 versus 1. Both players with USPs. First one to shoot someone in the face is going to take the pistol here in the second half. Onus is on Kenyes, however, but he's got a whole minute to play with. So what is the play from Crims? He's doing 360s at the moment, and he's just going to move towards CT because he knows that Kenny has to plant the bomb eventually. Kenny's still not going to pick up the bomb just yet. So both players playing with the time that they have on the clock here.
The problem for Kenny right now is that Crims could spot the bomb, but never mind. They will spot each other first of all as the engagements with the USPs come in. He's going to get the headshot first. Who has been playing more aim USP? It's looking like another player's going to get a frag just yet, and Kenny knows that he can get the bomb plant safely now. He spots the player, he can get the guaranteed plant. This is a really big deal for ENVYUS because even if he loses this round now, they get the third round AK buyout if they really want. And that is very deadly against what FNATIC will have at that time in the second half.
I'm wondering how many bullets Crims has left at this point, but we will never know. So, not sure if he has a kit. I don't think he has a kit either. So, I think Kenny's found a superior angle. He spotted a player, not revealed his position. The fake defuse coming in. More tagging as well. Oh, he does have a kit. So, he's just going to hold it. Is Kenny going to get to the angle in time? Oh, he's got half a second left, and he's taking the pistol for his team. That is massive.
That was a Superman dive right there. Brilliant stuff there from Kenny S. Test of nerves, and he's going to come through for his team. And what I mean, after the first map, I mean, I thought FNATIC were a shoe-in after that strong beginning to the first half, but now it's looking like ENVYUS potentially going to have a situation where they can just win this quickly in 2.
That is a monster round for Envy to win, and now the charge will continue. 4 SMGs on the team, but JW is going to be running around as if he has one himself. And there we go, picks up an SMG, and Rex happy as well. So FNATIC not going to just lie down and take it here.
Love the movement there from JW as well. He's playing it very sneaky. And now this presence on the flank is really scary for...
Kenny's heard him, though. Kenny's heard him. Kenny was directly underneath him, and Apex is going to come out with the AK. Kenny had the bomb down in main, but he heard JW running, had to go and pick it up. Or somebody did. Apex, in fact. So there we go. That's JW maybe moving a little bit too fast there, and the advantage you could say is back in Envy's favor now.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you there. But too fast, and the spray for these Mac 10s mid-range is a little bit awkward, but kill still coming in. There's a 5-7 being put to work by Crims. Now low HP is Kenny S. So big possibility here, considering that Olofmeister has not only an AK but a bomb. Olofmeister should be able to win this round now for FNATIC, but we have seen him faltering in recent rounds. This would be the round to be solid. And he's got Crims to help him out. A bit of a crossfire there, actually. Very fine crossfire. Very fine crossfire indeed. A lot of information to be exchanged between the two players as well. And Olofmeister is going to hear this. MBK is going to come around the corner. Olofmeister has to get the frag. How does he not get that kill? MBK is going to steal that one away. And Crims is going to miss the shot as well. Just one bullet, and Kenny S would have died. FNATIC falling apart at the seams.
I was just going to say, like, if Olofmeister was able to hold there, I think he's the kind of player where he wouldn't be too phased. But to fail like that as well, where NBK's not even jumping around the corner to avoid being headshot, he's just peeking and winning the duel with a Mac 10. And Olofmeister, he's got to be tilting that, surely.
He knows that he's there as well. Like he hears everything. See, he got the full warning. NBK didn't have that warning. That's a really big round to lose. Really big round to lose.
And now FNATIC are going to be on the absolute eco. Such good work done there at the beginning from JW again, but then they handed Envy some frags due to just giving the positional advantage to Envy by running around and letting them know where they're coming from. So this is a good round for Envy to simply just build a bunch of money with this Mac 10. Happy's eventually going to go down, but he won't be too fast. 2 more Mac 10s in play, and that UMP is still running around as well. So bomb goes down for Envy, and they'll be looking to make a bit more bonus money. Apex with a great angle to take down Flusher. And the last player will be spotted as well. And Apex going to come in from the back. So 12-6, Envy with double the score of FNATIC. You have to favour the 2-0 here.
Yeah, I mean, that 2-on-2 where it should have been guaranteed for Olofmeister and Crims, that is one of those highly demoralizing rounds because we know it and they know it, that they should have had that one in the bag. So they have, and again, it's a test of your, it's a test of champions if you can just overcome those situations and be present to the moment and try not to let that outcome affect you. I'm hoping that's the case here for FNATIC, as they definitely need to bring something back in this one. They're 6 rounds behind. The economy is with ENVYUS. And ENVYUS are also looking to go for a strong push. They've got the SMGs to throw at FNATIC in a very, very wanton fashion.
They've got 3 HEs as well. You can see the position where JW is standing is where FNATIC went for a double HE on their side. So if Envy had done the same thing there, then we may have seen a dead JW, excuse me. Tongue-tied. So JW got some information for his team. Olofmeister almost losing his life. Now, it's going to be hard for Envy to hold in a position where Olofmeister's on top of the train with 4 HP. And I'm not sure if FNATIC have the setup where high is going to be covered. Well, they do, but it's going to make them have 3 people over towards the B-bomb site, which I guess is a bit of a read as well. 50 seconds on the clock here for Envy to execute. There's nobody towards main, nobody towards Ivy for Envy. So if they choose to play towards the A site eventually, then it will be a bit of a funnel through Pop Dog, but it seems they are committed towards B.
Yeah, this definitely looks like that execute, and FNATIC have players in positions. They don't have really the ability to use counter grenades, but they have players. They have the bodies. Now let's see if they get the frags. They really need to make this happen. Olofmeister can't get anything done there, and Kiyoshima's going to be able to take down JW, who's close. The frag's not coming the way of FNATIC with the setup that they had. Flusher and Crims trying to save the day right now. 3 versus 3 as the bomb is now planted. The clock is ticking. Crims is going to be going and spraying gratuitously through the smoke as his teammates move forward. So he's providing some covering fire there, but it doesn't seem to be helping all that much because Kenyes is going to connect a shot onto Crims. He's going to fall back. MBK just strafing around with the UMP, and he's going to get it done with the help of Happy. 2 players left alive for ENVYUS, and FNATIC now are on the precipice of defeat. About to be pushed over, about to be kicked over.
Indeed, and if they just eco for this round, then they can get the full buy-in, but they're going to go for the force because they can't afford to play 6-14 here. So they're going to do what they can. 2 scouts, the Mag 7 onto Dennis rather than JW. Oh, Mag 7 for Dennis as well. Crims with the solitary FAMAS for the team. A French gun, ironically. Here we go, fast push coming in, angle not being checked though, Happy just ready and waiting, 2 players down very quickly. Can he find a third? No, going to be running around with his knife, and Crims will get the frag. Kishima on the hunt, but the smoke has come in, and FNATIC will be able to move to passive positions, but they are stretched all over the map as you can see here. 3 1v1 situations for FNATIC, or worse, as they are not in a position to trade at the moment. Olofmeister going to get a nice tag over towards Kenyes. That's a bomb spotted as well, which will cause a rotation from Crims. Going to be 3 CTs on the A site now, which is going to be a great help. So good information there. Olofmeister finding a headshot onto Apex, which is great because there's still tagged players. Flusher trying to go for the no-scope, eventually hitting it, but he can't get the follow-up shot onto NBK. 2 versus 1 now. Olofmeister goes down, leaving Crims alone. That's good for Crims in the sense that he's the one man with the FAMAS versus 2 heavily tagged players. So maybe, just maybe, he can do this.
And Crims is probably the steadiest player of the team as well. He's the guy you want in this spot at the moment, and there's the first frag. He's looking for the second now as Nate comes out. Kenyes goes for the peek. Oh, there you go. It's like a landmine, and that's going to be the frag of the round. 1 by Crims, 1 versus 2. So FNATIC able to bring something back, but I don't think this is going to phase the French side in any degree. We'll see now what they have to bring into this round. They can really start to go a little bit crazy. I want to see more craziness. They have a lot of banks, so standard setup from them, though.
We'll see. Flusher back on the UMP. So FNATIC struggling. Even if they win rounds, they need to win it in numbers to get their economy in the right place so they can buy the relevant guns and still have the utility in grenades. Olofmeister playing around the smoke now. Not going to spot anybody just yet, but Kishima will make a quick appearance. They'll know that FNATIC are playing aggressive, at least towards the B bomb site. So we'll see how Envy reacts to that. Olofmeister, in fact, is the only person towards B. Although there's a bit of a rotation coming in from JW just to look towards upper perhaps, and Olofmeister playing a similar position now to what we saw from NBK earlier on. 3 people headed towards Ivy for Envy, although they're going to swap positions between 2 players. The bomb's going to be headed in that direction. So if FNATIC are able to spot that, then maybe they can get some extra men over towards A. Playing pretty passive towards A at the moment, on the rear half, you would say, with Crims on the bomb site itself. Envy starting to move up Ivy now. We should see a fast engagement here. Then it's completely blind, still surviving for the time being. Could get himself 2 frags here if he pushes forward.
Yeah, Flusher in a great position, but looking away at the wrong moment. But that's Dennis straight in there on the back with that FAMAS. And now it's 2 players left for FNATIC. But Dennis did the damage to try to give them a chance into this one. But the bomb should be able to go down without any further hindrance from the CT side, as FNATIC get themselves in position for a coordinated retake with the 2 players that they have left alive. But Kenny S is going to be taking a knife to the retake there, just slashing away Olofmeister. He is being cut out of the frame, and now it's going to be JW. 1 versus 3 on the hardest site to retake in perhaps the entire game. Across all the maps, the A yard is just devastatingly difficult.
There's not much he can do here. Basically, he wants to save his AWP, but he needs to do it with the right timing. Oh, is he going for... Okay, I'm not sure what he's doing now. I don't even know what he's doing. I think I can only imagine he guessed that they were going to be hunting for him on the B bomb site, so he was going for a cheeky run through, basically flanking in the sense that they're not going to check behind them for him. But they had a player just in case a sneaky defuse came in or something, and that was enough to stop JW from saving the AWP. So that looks crazy, but it had logic behind it.
Marxism, baby. All right, so we have the 14-7. It's almost over here. Looks like this is an almost an open and closed book affair between these 2 teams, at least this morning. As we have FNATIC just on the pistol armor now, with a passive setup in the A bomb site, playing reactively, allowing ENVYUS to do as they wish, and there's not too much more that they can really do and have really, decent odds to make much of this. If you have the pistols, playing amongst the trains can be quite good in the yard. Once again, lots of cover, lots of peaks that you can make between each other. Let's see if they can be on point, though. AK is coming in now from the ENVYUS side. And Grims will be a bit annoying, but he will get the frag actually onto Apex. What else can we see here for FNATIC? Not much going on. Bomb should be planted momentarily as ENVYUS discover where the rest of the players are. And pretty simple round. Good coordination, good team play from the French players. Bit of chaos here right at the end, but that's been put to an end.
Match point for Envy. Many match points versus FNATIC. You've got the jumble sale buy. They've taken the TV, the furniture. They've taken Nan's jewels. And they don't have much in return. The pawnbroker was harsh. Very harsh indeed. Because Flusher has scouts and no armor. And the refs have pistols and armor. This looks like a 2nd round buy after losing the pistol. And they're up against match points. So one cannot favor them in the situation. NBK is rolling with a UMP, maybe having a read that they're going to have a crap buy. He's going to go for that moving accuracy because there's definitely the money on the Envy side to buy whatever they want.
Absolutely. It's like they're gearing up for an outside aggression. Potentially, they can make their way through. They clear the close spots. But actually, FNATIC playing quite far back. ENVYUS don't necessarily know this just yet, but they should be able to find out with some poking and prodding. Happy's going to be going down Pop Dog to try to discover where people are. Olofmeister's now being spotted, and Yoshino falls back, picks up the kill, and now the push should start to happen. We'll get the movement coming in from the French side into the yard now as they look for all the frags. And it's going to be Crims opening things up. Flusher and Dennis.
What?
They are making the frags happen, but it's a 2 versus 2 now.
So now we have a CZ and a UMP versus an AK and an AWP. So this is less than ideal to say the least, but with this close proximity, this is entirely doable for FNATIC. And now JW's picks up an AK as well. Again, it's just all going to come down to who turns what corner when. Kishima doesn't have the bomb and gets a kill onto Dennis, so JW Doesn't know exactly where the bomb is coming from. Sees it behind him now. So he can get himself 1 versus 1, but it's not going to be. 16-7. Envy with a extremely strong performance over FNATIC in today's first game.
And big storyline for me is that, okay, ENVYUS were able to do what they're supposed to do. They were able to turn on the individual players. We could see some great setups from them. They kept things relatively simple within the mechanisms